welcome to Miss Cake on Postal. So I want to welcome all my Postal freaks, and if you just subscribed, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now you're a new Postal freak, and I appreciate you here. But I want to have a little disclaimer before I begin. So some of you have made comments that I'm a little bit too vulgar. My mouth is kind of horrible, and some of the words that come out you guys don't appreciate. Well, let's get something straight right now. I told you guys in the beginning that this is not a sugar-coated, candy-coated, yellow brick road type of candy corn type of conversation that we're having. We're going to speak the real shit. And this is how we are. If you're at work, if you chill on the street, you with your friends, this is how we're going to talk. So we're going to be straight up and to the point. So if you don't like what's coming out of my mouth, there are other channels for you guys to watch. And there are other people that you can watch who will sugarcoat and water down the bullshit that they're going to tell you any fucking way. Okay? So let's begin. Now, today I decided that we were going to piggyback off of another conversation that I had with you guys about your 90-day probation. So I want to talk to you about what if you're on your 90 days and something happened. I'm not saying it's your fault. Could have been, management, something stupid. They didn't like you. I don't know. And they decided to let you go on your 87th day, right? You have not joined the union yet. You were contemplating it. And you have people in your ear telling you, oh, they're not going to represent you because you didn't join the union. Oh, because you didn't pass your 90 days, there's nothing they can do for you. This is in regards to even if you're a clerk or a mail handler. I'm speaking to both, okay? Let's say you do get terminated, released, and you haven't made your 90 days, right? And you think there's nothing I can do because you have people in your ear telling you that they can't represent you and you can't get your job back. All bullshit lies, okay? Letting you know this right now. Let's get one thing straight. Number one, you don't have to be in the union in order for a union rep to represent you. It's just like a public defender, baby. You fuck up, you got no money, we here to represent you, okay? Now, you might run into some resistance because you will have some shop stewards who just feel like, hey, you ain't in the union and you ain't passed your 90 days, I ain't gotta do shit for you. And trust me, they're out there. They're in my location, they could be at your station, your plant, anywhere. You know who they fucking are. But that is totally false. I represent people who are not in the union and they've been there 20 plus years. And I represent people who have just got there and now are starting their career in the Postal Service and haven't joined the union yet because they're waiting past their 90 days or they want to wait and see how things play out. This can be done. Don't let any fucking one tell you they can't represent you. It's lies. Now, let's break down how the 90 days works first before I get to the part where you can get represented and how we can get your job back. Now, remember, your first 90 days is your 90 working days, okay? Does not include your NS days, so don't count your NS days. So a lot of people will say, I've already worked 95 days, and then we pull how many days you actually work, and motherfucker, you only work 88 days because it's day one that you worked. So every day that you work, every single day, that's what's counting. Okay, so don't get it twisted. Don't be like, oh, I've already worked my 90 days because you counted 4 months. But in that 4 months, you might have had, let's say, 10 days off because those were your scheduled NS. Those days do not count. Every physical working day, okay? So let's say you get released for whatever reason, and you contact the union and say, they let me go. I don't know what happened. Okay, you gotta let us know. Tell us what happened. You can come and see us. You can call us on the phone. Write a statement. I'm going to use a hypothetical situation. You were playing with your phone because you were trying to change the music and a supervisor walked by and was like, oh, you're not supposed to be on your phone. You're fired because they're being a dick. Okay. So you have to relay to me what happened in that scenario. So then I can go back to that supervisor and say, hey, why did you let so-and-so go? What was the reason? So then they have to come back and say, well, I did this, this, and this, and they're MHA or whatever, and they're on their 90 days. So I have to negotiate with that person. Now, if they want to be a dick about it because they don't want to bring you back, then we have to go through the process of trying to get you back, which would be number one, filing a step one grievance. That step one grievance is saying, hey, Lawana, We released her. She got released on her 87th day. It was frivolous. It didn't make any sense. She passed her every 30, 60 day evaluation. There was nothing wrong. What's the problem? Why couldn't it just been a conversation? So then they might decide, we don't want to deal with that. That motherfucker can stay out. We're not letting her back in. So then what happens is I have to take it to step 2. When it goes to step 2, it goes outside of the building, and that will go to a labor rep, and they have to decide they want to bring you back or not. This is where we technically have no control anymore, because once it goes outside, I can only give them information to keep you in, but I can't physically sit there and argue in front of you. Now, there is a representative that will go to argue your case. A lot of times it's not me, it's not an underling, it's usually the president or representative for that union where you're located that will go and fight that step 2 for you. Please remember, if you're not in the building, baby, you do not get paid. So don't call your union office or harass your union rep and go, I've been out 5 days and I didn't get paid. Baby, you weren't going to get paid. You don't even work here technically anymore. So calm that shit the fuck down. You're not getting any money. Now, if you got a good shop steward, a good union, and we get your ass back in the building, then we can turn around and try to get you back paid for the days that you were out. It is not guaranteed. So don't go to your union person and go, oh, well, you got me back in. I need my shmoney. No, that's not how it works. You better be glad you got a fucking job and you got back in the building. Now, I will try to get your money back, or at least some of it, because it's only right. But it's not a guarantee that it will happen that way all the fucking time, okay? So, always remember that even though you're on your 90 days, you can be walked out for any reason. They don't need a reason. They don't have to give you a verbal warning. They don't have to say, hey, I need you to stop doing that. They don't have to do that. You're on your 90 fucking days, which means come in there, shut the fuck up and work and don't say shit. And then use your calendar and count every working day you have. So when you hit that real 95th working day and some shit goes down and they try you with that, then you can be like, no, baby, no. I made 95 days. look at my calendar. Playing with your ass, playing with you. Don't play with me. Play with your mammy, don't play with me. So remember, you do not have to be in the union for you to be represented if something goes down. Do not believe what anyone tells you, because they will try to tell you that to discourage you because they don't want to represent you because they're being fucking lazy. Number 2, remember, your 90 days are 90 working days. From the first day you begin work, and you're going to count every single physical day that you're in that building, you do 8, 10, or 12 hours. Also remember, if you are released and they send you out, please, 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 find your shop steward. If they don't allow you that day or that night because they're walking you out, contact your union office that night, the very next day, speak to someone. Now, they're going to try to discourage you and tell you, you're in your 90 days, I can't help you. It's lies. They can help you. They may not be as willing, but they will be able to help you. But there is no guarantee that you get your job back. I don't know the circumstances. If you've been stealing or you cut somebody out, baby, don't expect to come back. But if it's for some frivolous shit that maybe a supervisor told you something, you did it, and they're just being a dick because they know you're an MHA and they know you're in your 90 days, and this happens a lot, then that's something that we could work around and we can try to get you back into the building. Also, don't forget, while you're out the building, every day that you sit out, you're not going to get paid. So if you already worked, your paycheck, your next paycheck will be for those days that you've already previously worked. When the new pay period starts, if your ass ain't in that building, you're not going to get paid, okay? So, no pay. If we get you back in the building and you have your job, then we can try to see if we can get your money back. This is not a guarantee at all, period, okay? So just remember, Postal Freaks, for some of you who have been in the system long enough, you know how the game works. For you newbies coming into the building, this is what I'm telling you. Make sure that you're smart. Make sure that you understand what the fuck is going on, and make sure that you know your fucking rights, all right? So always remember, my Postal Freaks, love and light, peace.